Hey, how are you doing? Let's welcome another guest to our beautiful interview for
Bum,
Empower
bum, bum.
2023. Susan, would you like to bring yourself in? Talk about yourself a little bit.
Yes, thanks so much. My name is Susan Howard, and I was originally a level 5/7 spinal cord injury impartial, but now I've been reevaluated as a C6, still impartial. I fell 5 years ago in our home down the base room steps, and instead of sliding on my stomach like most people do, I decided to take a couple of somersaults at the bottom, and
Oh,
that's what fractured my neck.
so you're just
So,
trying to show off a little bit, right?
yeah, I was trying to put some of those athletic skills
Mhm.
back in power. So,
So
um,
doing
anyway,
gymnastics.
that's right. That's exactly right. So, anyway, that's how my injury occurred 5 years ago, as I said. And, medically, I've been strong the whole time with a few blips here and there, which have held me back from attaining my greatest levels. But I'm working on it and I'm going to get there.
Love the
Awesome. I love your
attitude,
attitude.
Susan.
Yes,
Love it.
Thank you.
love the attitude. Susan, we've been talking to everybody about like their experiences at Empower. Can you just like tell us maybe like how you heard about it and like what your expectations coming into the program?
Well, it's hard to believe that I only heard about it this year,
Mhm.
being 5 years out. I don't know how this never came across my path before, but I was actually at a physical therapy session at Spalding in Boston, and I heard another patient talking about how excited she was that she was going back as a peer mentor. And I was thinking, wait a minute, what's she talking about?
Mhm.
So I asked my therapist, who said, oh yeah, empower, blah, blah, blah. She explained the whole program, and I was like, well, how do I get in there? So I applied late, and fortunately for me, there was still a spot open. So this was my first year to go to Empower, and it was just coincidence or the gods or whatever it was. But I heard about it, and I was lucky enough to get in.
That's
So
awesome.
everything aligned. That's awesome. That's good to
Yep.
hear.
Exactly.
Stars align sometimes for us, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, so once again, we were talking about goals also. Like, what were some of your goals going into Empower? Because, obviously you want to go back home and be the most independent you can possibly be. So, like, what were you working on when you were there?
Well, first of all, I realized when I got there, I was the senior citizen of the group. So here I am working against 20 somethings and 30 somethings. But nevertheless, I had personal goals that mainly included my ability to slide board myself on from my bed to my chair, from my chair to my bed. My husband and I, our number one goal is to travel, and that's what we've done all of our lives.
Yeah.
And my injury put a halt to that because I was having to use a Hoyer lift to get back and forth, and can't exactly travel with those in Europe and Asia. So,
Mhm.
anyway, that was my number one goal. And whatever skills I had to learn to be able to do that, that was what I wanted to accomplish. Because if I could get back to using a slide board, we would be able to travel independently and do our thing. So that was my number one goal. I also had a goal of, I had a lot of, still have a lot of tremors in my hands. And I wasn't quite sure, how I could calm that down enough to text and use my laptop and things like that. So that was a big OT goal for me. And I had a few other minor goals, but majorly that was an issue for me because, again, being my age, I do have osteoporosis. So it can be very important to learn how to use your wrists and
Yeah.
your hips and that sort of thing properly. So I was really relying on the specialist there to be able to help me with that.
That's awesome.
It's
And
definitely
were
awesome.
you able to work on the transfers at all?
Oh, yes. I got a
Yeah.
lot of work in on it and a lot of strengthening exercises that I hadn't been doing. I had been doing a lot of upper body, but not necessarily the proper kinds of strengthening and developing that I needed for slide boarding. Since I hadn't been doing it, for years and years, well, 4 years,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing proper things. So I learned that as well. So yes, was able, I went from probably a max assist to an assist, which is a lot of progress.
That's
And
That's
my
big
awesome.
husband,
progress.
yeah. And so my husband is able to do what the therapists were doing to continue the process. So even though I could have worked on it more and probably become a little more independent, I was able to accomplish the goal enough that we can travel again.
That's
That's awesome.
amazing. So where are we going first?
Right? Where are we traveling to?
Well, my daughter is leaving in 5 weeks to go to York, just north of London, for a 1 year graduate program.
Oh no.
I would love to be able to go over there with her.
I'm
And,
sorry, you broke up just a little bit. Could you just tell us again where you were going?
yes, so York, it's just north of London
London.
in
Yeah.
the UK.
Okay.
So she's going to start a 1 year program there. And I would love to be able to go with them to get her settled in. So I don't know that I'll be able to do the cobblestones of their street, but by God, if I can at least get over there
Yeah.
to show my support, I'd appreciate it. So I
That'd
think
be
I'm
awesome.
ready.
I think, hey, you look ready. I think you're ready to go. I'm not a doctor, but you got my seal of approval.
On the push of the individual. Like if you really want to do something, I believe you can do it. So
Yeah,
like you
100%.
seem like you have the drive, and I don't see anything holding you back. There might be minor things that hold us all back, but we push through them, and we live our better lives. You know what I mean? So I commend you for that. Yes. Roll on.
I'm sure your daughter would
Thank you.
appreciate too.
You're welcome.
I'm sure your daughter would be very happy if you were able to do that as well. No.
Might be breaking up a little bit,
Can
the
you hear
connection.
me, Susan? Can't hear me.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of a freeze frame.
I have full bars.
It's okay. Can you hear me, Susan?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so we're after at Empowered. Did you have any highlights that besides accomplishing some of those goals, any highlights that might have stuck out to you?
I have many highlights, but the one that comes to mind first is there is a program here in Boston that I wanted to participate in, but you had to be able to bike for at least 2 miles. And since I've never tried that activity but want to, I was able at Empower to get into some wheels and test my upper body ability. And I was able to do my 2 miles. I won't say without problem because again, I'm the senior citizen of the group, but I did it, and I did it well enough that I know I'll be able to join this program and continue that progress. So that was an extreme highlight. Of course, the other highlight is to know that I have a shot at traveling as well too. So that's huge for me, really huge. I think the other high for me was just being a part of my community. And in other words, even having a community. It's really the first time. I travel in a lot of professional and, social groups, but I was always down here and everyone's always up there talking and they don't even really know if I'm speaking or not. So it was just great to be eye level with a group of people who totally understand and don't even have to explain things to really. That was probably the premier highlight for me. And to hear how similar stories were, how different stories were, just seeing that as an almost 70-year-old, I can listen to 20 and 30-year-olds and be just as interested, and they and me. And so that was huge.
Well, I was shot on my left side, just in the around the neighborhood. Just, I don't know, in the neighborhood. I got shot around. We were playing, matter of fact, on my side. I think, yeah, that's about it. Like T12 injury.
How long ago?
2019, 4 years ago.
2019. And you're 17 now, right? So this
17.
happened. This happened when you were 13. When you're just a puppy, baby boy. You're still a baby boy, bro. You still got that. You got that little bit. Look at that smile. What?
I don't be trying to shoot us.
Hey,
I
listen,
got
man.
the bricks on.
I had braces too, man. Don't you worry. I had them till I was like 16, 17 too.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're basically talking to everybody, asking them. We introduce a little bit, and then we're kind of, if you want to go over whatever kind of goal everybody, how they have the 3 goals when you first get there. What were your 3 goals, if you don't mind sharing?
One of my the goals I wanted was drive. I wanted to, get into driving with the hand controls. I got into I did some stuff in my OT. Not matter of fact, my PT with Lauren. She let me know. Well, got me into the process of coming back home, driving manual and stuff like that. She helped me out a little bit, or a lot. Matter of fact, with that.
Yeah.
Getting started with it. That was one of the top goal I wanted to accomplish, and I can now. I just gotta work on it more and learn more with the driving manual. The second goal I had, it was second goal was trying to swim without it, because every time I get in the pool, I got the floaty out, and I want to learn how to swim without the floaty, because it's possible. I seen most of them, or like people when we was in Empower, most of them was getting that done. It was I wanted to try that for sure, because that's all right. That was another goal. I ain't accomplished it, but I'm working on more. I ain't accomplished the third goal. Oh, we was talking about colleges for me to go to get into some more music, because I want to learn how to play some instruments, some piano, just because I'm an artist, so I wanted to learn how to do some or play some instruments, because I don't know. I think that'll better my career if I do know how to learn how to play some instruments. So.
Yeah, for sure. So we saw a little guitar action one night. Yeah, a little. They had to show you a little chords and stuff like that. That's what's up. And with your goal of driving, like that, you're looking at the man right here. Tony's been doing that for a minute, and he'll, I'm sure you guys talked. Any tips, Tony? If you ever need any tips or anything, I'm sure Tony has all different types of tips, trips, and trades for that driving stuff.
Of course, man. I got your back, man. Whatever you need to know, you can always hit me up, man. It's all good. We want to see you driving, because I seen you buzzing around the campus just in your wheelchair. I can't wait to see you in an actual car, man. It's gonna be kind of crazy.
I'm waiting for that. I'm trying. Well, I'm studying for that day. I'm studying.
Yeah, because you see wheeling around campus, you were out.
The young buck, man. The energy, man. I was like, wow, man. I wish I had that energy.
Overwhelming sometimes, frustrating sometimes. This energy is crazy.
For sure.
It's fun.
What did you feel about your overall experience at Empower? Did you enjoy like your time and like everything you did?
That I wish it would never end. I still got childhood, but I'm saying the experience of being in for each other. I'm saying I wish that would never end. So that was I love that experience. So like it was real love.
It's something different at that place. I tried to tell you when I first saw you there. I was like, get ready. I was like, get ready for your 2 weeks. It's gonna change your life. And you look at me. You looked at me. You're like, yeah, it's
everything got me wanna, more accomplished, more.
Yeah, got you doing things you never thought you'd do. Got you on the water. Got you in the ocean.
Biking, cycling, surfing. Yeah, you're right. I think of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the beautifulness of Empower, man.
You be showing the newbies how to like move around and do things. Exactly. You know what I mean? You're gonna be the second generation there. You know what I mean?
Veteran.
But the people I was with though there, it was something different. I want the same people.
Come on in. Let's start with Justin. Justin, introduce yourself.
I'm Justin. Just had more time to sit around and get to know each other and talk, like the bullshit that goes on. Being in the chair. And
could you give us sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm thinking about it. Could you give us a little bit of the difference between like last year and this year? Like you're expected, know that when like you go to do something, most of the time you first go into it, you don't know what's going on, but the second year you kind of know a little bit about it. So like kind of like give me a balance of both. What did you get off of this year that you didn't get off of last year?
I think definitely knew what to expect. I was going to be tired. There's going to be a lot of people, who you had to explain things to. Shitty food. Always running behind. Just general chaos. But I think it's all part of the experience.
Yeah.
It's just
Controlled chaos.
Empower time, right?
It's
yes,
controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. That's what Britt called it for his
He did.
his 1 week reflection or whatever.
Guy, that Kentucky guy, he's a good guy. We'll talk to him
He's
later.
a fart smeller sometimes.
Yeah,
Fart smeller.
he's a fart smeller. So Connor.
Yep.
So this was what, your correct?
Third year. Very rare.
Yeah, no, you're
rare.
rarefied air, my friend. You
Unicorn.
are. You're kind of like the Michael Jordan of Empower programs. I'm just saying.
I am. I like that. Let's keep talking about that.
We'll keep that the goat. We'll call that the goat of Empower participants. So
like that.
the first year was 2 years, correct?
Yes.
And then you were there last year, and now this year. So, like as Tony said, since you came in, this was your third year, so you already knew what you were expecting. Like, did you have a different kind of perspective coming in just because you had so much more experience than the rest of the participants?
I think every year I've had a different experience with it. But this year it was really nice that it wasn't like boot campy. Like, I went into this year thinking like, everything's going to fly by. I'm not going to have time to do anything. It's going to be such a rush all the time. Yeah. But then I got there. I was like, oh, this is nice. We can actually like take a break and have conversations that night and not stress out about, how quickly everything is moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's definitely the highlight of the 2-week part of the program is the, like the second week. I always try to tell people, I feel like that's where the magic happens, where relationships are forged, and like you guys as participants, you get to hang out more and you get to know each other, and just kind of talk about, you could be upset about your routine and all that, like I haven't took a poop in like 3 days, and everybody's like, yeah, me too. And then it's just, I feel like that's the best part about Empower is, outside of all the amazing things they have us do and everything, I just think that the relationships that we form together are amazing.
How do you guys feel about like when you're there? Oh, sorry, I know I'm talking to both of you, but I'm actually talking to Connor. Sorry, buddy. How do you feel about like when you're there, in like actually being in the community and then going back home, like kind of comparing the two? Like, what does it feel like? Can you give us like a kind of like a gist of like the differences almost?
It's funny because for me, when I go in there, I think it's kind of like scary adjusting to Empower. But then like when you're going home, you're like, this sucks. Like, I wish I could just stay there like the whole time. It's weird how like quickly the vibe switches in 2 weeks.
We're in like an Empower bubble. Like it's like, our world is everything changes. And then when we go back home, it's like, oh, we're back in our old routines, and like you try to live that Empower high as much as you can. And that's why I think it's good that we're doing the podcast, because we kind of get to relive some of the Empower moments with you guys that, maybe keep that juice, keep that energy flowing now that we're back in our regular everyday programs.
Reality.
Yeah, you're right.
I would agree. It's like I'm at home. It's there. What community? It's like, I mean, I do know other people in chairs, but I'm not, like I don't live close to them. I don't see them every day or interact with them, or it's back to the grind. It's
back to the nitty gritty.
Enjoyed the cooking. I hadn't cooked since my accident, which was really cool.
Oh, the Sunday brunch. Yeah, okay.
The Sunday brunch part. That was just really, really nice, and I'm surprised that I did enjoy it as much as I did.
You forget how much you miss things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose finding out that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would is pretty much my general Empower experience. But that was just one thing for me that sticks out.
It's good. Hopefully you'll do something like that at home. Like maybe one day be like, hey, I'm gonna try to razzle dazzle these scrambled eggs real quick.
Let's get some highlights from you, my friend.
Give us the juice.
I'm a simple man. If you asked me that question year 1, 2, or 3, I would have said kayaking every year. I just think that's like the best part.
It's definitely dope.
Were you a kayaker before the accident, or not really?
I think I went like once or twice, but I don't know. The whole thing, it's relaxing. It's everything about it. It's awesome.
just being on the
Big kayak
water,
day guy.
right? Just being out there on the water is beautiful, man. That's what
And
makes me
like a lot of,
go on.
sorry, you gonna talk?
No. This
Um,
is you, baby.
I think that a lot of the time, you definitely spend a lot of time like prepping for it and getting seated for it. But I think once you like have your own like kayak and like really get your setup going, I mean, you definitely need a couple buddies to go with you to like you get in and out, but it
Yeah.
doesn't seem that like outlandish of a hobby, you know?
Oh, what you mean to continue doing right
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
outside of
Listen,
Empower.
listen,
yeah,
man. If you
Definitely.
could do it, man, that'd be awesome.
yeah.
Hmm.
Just, I mean, obviously surf day is awesome, but like, how often do you have like 15 people to like help you to do
That's
that?
Exactly, an
true.
army, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh. But
Yeah,
kayaking,
Oh,
I
like
think a
it.
couple buddies you can do it.
I'm
yeah,
good with
sure.
surf day. I'm all set.
Justin, hey, I seen you surf, bro, and you didn't want to go out there, and I'm very
I did
proud
not.
that you did, bro. I'm glad you got out there and at least did it once. At least did it once. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
I'm glad too, but I don't need to go again. You know,
Not for everybody, but I'm
No.
glad you at least experienced it, at least,
it was a lot of work, a lot of build up for
Yeah.
about 2 to 3 seconds. But I mean, such is life, right?
Yeah, no.
Definitely, like, I don't know. I just didn't want to deal with it. I was like, when I finally, the days that were leading up to it, I was like, ugh, I just have to slog through this 2 weeks, and then I can come back home and just get back to my normal life. I just thought it was going to be not good. I don't
Yeah.
know why. In whatever capacity, I thought it was going to be anxious to come home the minute I got there. But
Yeah, I
that
remember when we spoke on the
talked,
phone.
Casey.
Yeah, I remember when we first spoke. I could tell you were a little hesitant and you were a little nervous and everything like that. So I tried to just let you know that it was get ready for the best 2 weeks you're gonna have of the year, man.
So then, obviously, that totally did not happen. It was really sad to leave because it was just a killer 2 weeks. I mean, it was so well put together and such good people there. You know, the participants and peer mentors and everyone in Res Aids. It was really, really unbelievable. And now I'm like, man, I can't believe I can only really do this thing twice. Like, the goals were to learn to use a manual chair, a sort of general improve my transfers, and then pick up some cooking skills so I can help out at home a little bit. So I don't own a manual chair, but they were actually able to get one for me to use while I was down there that was the proper size for me and everything, so that was great.
That's
So
awesome.
I probably spent about 5 days out of the 14 in the manual chair, which was really good. I'm pretty weak and pretty slow in it, but I'm definitely gonna get one for home now. I just gotta go through that process. So the manual chair one was good. Transfers definitely improved. I mean, some of it's just a strength issue, and you can only achieve so much strength in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But they're definitely going in the right direction. And then we spent the whole day, a whole brunch, like cooking, and I got to try out like different knives and this crazy cool egg cracking tool, these little rubber things that hold your bowls in place. So I got to like pick up on a lot of cool products that would make cooking with limited hand function a lot easier.
That's awesome.
The Empower Power Hour.
Yeah, the Empower, man, with all those tricks and gadgets and all that fun stuff that make it easier for us handicapped folks.
I still can't believe how much stuff he brings down with him. I mean, it's got to be crazy.
Yeah, I know he must have like a suitcase alone of just good knickknacks and trinkets and all types of things that can make our lives easier.
Dude, his van is like super packed. Like, I saw him like loading it up. How did you load all that into your van? Like, it's so crazy. But like, yeah, he comes through with some good stuff.
That's good.
awesome.
So do you feel like you were able to reach those goals? Obviously, with the transfers, maybe you might have picked up a few techniques and stuff that you can carry on into your everyday life. So
yeah, absolutely. And like, I think maybe for next year, like, I think the goals need to be a little bit more specific and maybe even smaller. Like, I learned how to shave myself this year, which wasn't a goal, but
I saw that, by the way. That was pretty good, man. Don't knock on that. You did a good job, bro.
Yeah, that's like small and stupid, but I generally like being clean shaven, and I was relying on caregivers to only do it to me twice a week at home. But now this morning, I was just like, oh, I got this podcast, I'm gonna shave. And then I learned how to cut my own hair too. They built me this cool adaptive handle for my buzzer that my hand goes into it.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, even those two little things are kind of big deals for me. So weren't specific goals, but happy to pick up those skills.
It's the small things, man.
That's the little. That's it, man. It's the little things and that can just make our lives a little bit easier, just a little bit more independent and, more fulfilling for ourselves,
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, like, I remember I saw your face after you came into that room and you told everybody that smile that came out when you told us about the first time you shaved. That's kind of the whole point of Empower, is it's empowering.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just to see the smile and the joy of all of us. We do something that we never thought we could do again. It's just it's life changing.
And then the other thing for me that was big was like seeing how capable some people are with my level of injury or even higher. Like, it sort of is a kick in the ass to be like, maybe I've thrown it. I just say I can't do that too much and I don't even try. There's other people in C7 who are popping in and out of bed and into chairs and out of chairs and doing every freaking thing, and I'm like a lump. So I gotta, it kind of makes me feel like a loser, but it gives me a little bit of motivation too.
Don't you dare say that, sir.
No loser, sir. That's all that is just motivation.
It also takes time, man. Like, it's not one of those things that you're going to pick up right away. It takes time with, like, getting to know your body, getting to know your surroundings and all that stuff. It's nothing that you're going to just jump right into. And the people in power that are doing that, they've probably been doing it for years, and that's why they make it look so easy. You know what I mean?
Or they're also 22 and jacked.
Yeah. Or that. You're correct on that one.
Yeah, and you're still new, and you're still, what, like a year and a half? So you're still...
Yeah, a year and a half.
You're like a little baby puppy in this game.
He's the baby still,
Yeah,
how did you find Empower? How did you come across it?
I came across it from one of the directors, Liz, and she lives in Rhode Island. It's a funny story. I actually talk about this all the time because she came to me one time when I was one of her, like, the in-person meetings that we have in Rhode Island. And she was telling me about this program, and she's like, you need to really come, and this, that, and the other thing. And I was just like, all right, I kind of put it off for a little bit. And she kept nagging me, dude. She kept texting me and calling. She's like, you need to do this program. You need to try. I'm like, why? Like, yeah, she pushed it, like, and I was literally like, I don't need this fucking program. Like, I was like I don't need this. And I finally caved, and I was like, okay, I'll do the Empower. And then once I caved, and like COVID hit, so I was like, crap, man. I was like, I was looking forward to, like, going out and doing it and checking it out. But I was like, okay, I'll do the virtual one, and I think it actually came through pretty good, even though it wasn't in person, because I still learned a lot from you guys. And it's one of those things that, like, yeah, we're not all in the same place, but we all have the same mindset, and that was, your one goal of being independent. And I still felt it through virtual, but dude, in person, so much better. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God,
it's a different world, man. Different world.
Dude, it's so different. Like, actually meeting my peers and my peer mentors, and, like, people that want to put in their time and effort to, like, helping me. Like, it's a lot, It's like, it's a lot to take in, because you're like, wow, these people are actually going out of their way to, like, trying to get me to do better in life. You know what I mean? And that's
super humbling.
Yeah, it's very humbling.
Yeah, people taking their time off 2 weeks out of their year to come volunteer. No one gets paid, and they just, anything that we need, that they provide, and it's a beautiful thing. And
it's a real. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no,
My
I was
bad,
just saying I was just saying that the world needs to know about this. Like, I feel like this program needs to be a lot more popular than what it is.
Yeah, and I'm surprised it's not, man. Like, it really is. Maybe it's just like people thinking the same thing that a lot of people do think when they're about to go to something like this. They're like, oh, it's probably just like cripple camp. They're just trying to do what you normally do out of therapy. Like, when you first go into therapy, when you first get injured, it's a different atmosphere than it is at Empower. Empower, they want you to be a better person, and they want you to be as independent as you possibly can at home. I feel like the other way, they're preparing you for what your life's going to be like in a wheelchair. So it's kind of different. It's like, here you have goals that you want to set and that you want to make, like I said, every day is independent as you possibly can. And when you're doing the one that's like from a hospital or something like that, they're just like trying to prepare you to, like, all right, you're going to be in a wheelchair, so, like, this is going to be your life. You know what I mean? So it's very different. Both are very different.
For sure. It definitely it kind of gives you, it's more based on independence, and I feel like like you said with the hospital stuff, it's just preparing you to go home and preparing
Hmm.
you to be able to survive at your house. And
Hmm.
Empower is basically giving you the tools to thrive, not just survive. And that's
Yep.
just, I just that should be like a slogan or something.
That
You're
should
welcome.
be. That's
Just
perfect.
that's off the rip right
And
there.
and
But
it's so true, dude. Like when I'm there, like I feel like it's home, it's family.
magic.
Like yeah, dude. And again, I get the nervousness because you're out of your comfort zone. You're like, oh man, I'm going to this place that I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know, do the things that they want me to do. But like
Yeah,
these are things that like you're just in your own head with, because once you get there, you realize that they're there to help you do as much as possible to make you feel better.
for
Like
sure.
and like it's all about community too, because like I said, we met through it, and like look at this. This is what built out of
Yeah,
it. So this is a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy that we met because we have the same like energy, bro. And it's just like one of those things that like if I didn't, go through with the Empower, we would have never met and we would have never done this. So like I feel like it's great things that come from that.
it causes a nice little domino effect.
Yeah.
That little butterfly effect. Like one little thing happens, and we met on a Zoom call, and now we're interviewing people from all across the country. It's just
Yeah.
it's pretty dope.
Yep. I mean, that's crazy, right, man? If you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, when you just said that, I never really thought about it like that, but that's actually pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, man. And I'm happy for it, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
it changed my life for the best, and I'm overall, it's highlights galore because like at home I don't get to do a lot of things that I did at Empower. I don't get to cycle, I don't get to surf, I don't get to go kayaking, I don't get to do all those sporty things that a sport guy loves to do. And
yeah,
I miss it so much. I wish I can get more involved, and like I'm trying to get more involved, but there's not a lot of stuff in Rhode Island like that I can really get involved into. Everything's a lot of things are in Massachusetts, but like there are things that I can get myself into, but I'm working my way towards it. And when you're at Empower, all that stuff happens at once. Like you're doing the whole, like I said, the first one I went to was a 1 week program, and they jam packed that sucker. Like you couldn't breathe and you were
yeah,
exhausted. Like this 2 weeks, you get to actually sit back and like enjoy it and bond and like make friends and like talk about everything.
yeah.
There's so much. It's so different to do the 2 week than the 1 week. And doing all those things, those activities that I love to do, it just puts me in ecstasy, bro.
It
So
gives you life.
yeah,
It recharges you,
it does.
and that's why
It
we
makes you,
gotta ride that high as long as we can, bro.
and that's what we try to do. And like I said, for people that don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I love the program so much that I actually get some ink done. I'll even throw it in here. See, there it is,
Yep.
right there, bro.
Hmm. Yeah,
Empower, baby. You know what
that's
I mean?
it.
I got it down because that's my family now, my
If
future
I
family,
if I
bro.
could lift my leg, I would show you. I got that tattoo a few years ago. Once you're in it, man, I told you it's like a good cult. Like
Yeah,
like we
it's
might is it? I wouldn't call it branding, but we sort of got tattoos. So it's sort of like a branding. So
it is
we're
like a
basically
branding.
we're sort of in for the cult for life. So we just
Yeah,
none of that bad Kool-Aid in this place. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Like we're in it for life now, and that's
Yeah,
how it
it's on
is.
our bodies, so we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and it's funny because like, people do this willingly. Like nobody's like pushing you to get like ink done or anything like that. It's just one of those things that are like it's like
It's a part of you.
uh yeah, it's a part of you and it's a great ending to a great program. Like it's just like
Yeah,
you always remember that now that you have it with you, you know what I mean? And it's just you
yeah,
remember those memories of the time you were there with the people that you were with and everything. So it's dope.
yeah, for sure. In 2016. So it was a little different, and the program it's different but the same at the same time. If that makes any sense, like
Yeah.
we still did the same activities, which was wild because when they were like, "Oh, we're going surfing at Lido Beach," and I'm just like, "We're doing what now?" Because this is I got hurt at Jones Beach, and Lido
Mhm.
Beach is literally they touch. So that's like literally I could see like I got hurt at Field 6 at Jones, and then right next to it is Lido Beach, and I'm just like, "Oh shit!" Like, y'all, you gotta make me go back here. I was so against it, Tony. I was, me, I can't shut up, and people who know me, I like to talk. I
Mhm.
was quiet as a little kid in church. Like I didn't say a word on that ride. I was stoic. Like I kind of like how Dexter was talking about how he had those similar kind of feels.
Yeah.
and that but without Empower, I would have never been able to do that, or I don't even think I would have wanted to, because that was like taking a monkey off my back. You know what I mean? Like it like took a weight off my shoulders, and it just I was like, it might not have registered right there at the beach that day because emotions feels, but the next year, like I was like, you couldn't get me out that water. First year I did like maybe like a wave or two. Second
Yep.
year, I did like 10. I didn't lost count. I put my GoPro on front of the surfboard. I was living life out there at that time, man.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's a great feeling to like almost like face your fears because just like you said, you got injured that way. So like them telling, hey, we're gonna put you back out in the water on a surfboard where you really don't have too much control,
That's
but
great.
we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
exactly.
great. There'll be a guy in the
But
back of the surfboard. He'll take care of you. What?
yeah, and it's just something about it's like it's I don't know if I can't speak for you, but for me it's like it's a tranquility, man. It's just one of those moments that
Yeah,
everything calm and it's like you're like living your best life and it's just like, ah, this is great. And you get addicted. Like you want more and more and more,
yeah,
and that's always a great feeling, right?
yeah. I literally was just I told him just to let me chill out in the ocean. Let me just float around on the surfboard, just because I used to love to be in the ocean and body surf and just chill out, just hang out there, catch like bouncing through the waves, going under the waves. So I was like, let me just hang out here for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
it was just as I words don't describe those feelings, and without
Yeah.
this program, you and I wouldn't have these experiences or even know that we could do these experiences.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's,
That for me is like the kayak day. Like, dude, that for me is just so
I know
like
you
chill.
love you love
Dude, I love it, man. It's just like going out there and being on the water and just like the calmness of like seeing the birds and like other
yeah.
people and everything. It's great, dude. It's a great feeling.
And the
Like,
views and the waters, just you can just sit out there and just stare
yeah.
off to the horizon. It's just like, oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, like I can't even
Put your hand
imagine what
in the
like a
water.
sunset would feel like
Uh,
going out. Like that would be awesome, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I caught that my first year because like the timings got messed up, so I
Hmm.
ended up going like in the evening, and oh my god, it was beautiful.
That's
Just
dope. Yeah.
I was like, don't paddle. Let me
Yeah.
let me
Let me
just
just
float.
let me just chill here for a
Yeah,
moment.
so
You know what
don't do that to me. Let me just hang out.
I mean? Leave me alone.
Yeah, told you not to disturb me when I'm cleaning my room.
When the fuck do we get ice cream?
Uh,
Yo, that's another thing that I love about it too. Like we
Classic.
we went out we went out like most nights and just hit the town like all of us all together like cruising. Like it's so funny
Oh,
like seeing
all
like
of
people
you,
like
all of you.
sorry almost all of us. I
You
had
bring it up. You bring it up every time. No, that's
I,
cool. Yeah,
I had you in my heart, bro. I had you in my heart.
I was there. I was there in spirit. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
go on with that. That's I love seeing. I was watching those pictures, man. You guys just going
Yeah,
out,
it's just going out and like, being in
taking
public and
over.
like, yeah, it's a different feeling because most of the time we're going out and we're getting stared at just for being in a
Yeah,
wheelchair, but being stared at in a group of wheelchairs is totally
wheelchair
different.
gang. It's a wheelchair gang.
Wheelchair, like we rolling deep, bro, and like
Yeah.
they can't mess,
Like,
they don't know how to react. Like people don't know how to react
it's
sometimes.
like who let them out the hospital? Like what's going on?
Right,
Like
you're
who let them
right.
out of the home? Who let them out of their homes? Like oh shut up! Like taking
You need
no day trips out here. This is our life. We're here to take over.
Exactly, right? And that's how it should be, man. It should be like when we're in public, you shouldn't have to have all these people looking at you like, oh, this person, is he okay? Or are they okay? Or whatever, you know what I mean? They
Yeah,
shouldn't have to ask that question.
just let us
It should be
be.
like a normal thing. Yeah.
That's it. And that's what we're trying to do. Break down some
Yeah.
stigmas, break down some walls, let people know that we are okay.
Yeah.
We just live life. We have our ups and downs just like anybody else. Sometimes we might roll to get to places or go to the bathroom differently or have sex differently, but at the end of the day we're all people and we just
Hmm.
we just do things a little different.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, maybe sometimes a lot of bit, but sometimes a little bit. But
Yeah, most a lot of bit, but
yeah,
we'll
most of
stick
it.
with a little bit.
But
Oh,
no, I mean, I'm really glad you. This was Tony's idea, by the way. This Empower episode, I thought it was an amazing idea, and I'm glad we got to do
it,
it.
it was both of ours. You need to
Come on,
stop it.
I gave you the credit, man. You brought it up.
I mean, it's just
This
one
is
of
a
those
great
things that
idea.
I feel like we need to do this because I want to put it out there that Like if you're one of those people that are just sitting home and like think life is done because you're in a wheelchair, you're dead wrong, bro. Because there's so much to get yourself involved in. You gotta take the leap, man.
That's
And
it. Leap
that's
of faith.
Yep. Take the leap and just do it because life's too short. Very short for us sometimes.
We know that firsthand, baby.
Yep.
But I'm glad we got to do this, and I can't wait to see what it comes from this beautiful 2 episode thing.
Me too, man. I'm excited to see it.
All right, brother. So catch you on the flippity flip.
Yeah.
Guilt is burning, my stomach's yearning.